testa solo, Tevez al limite dell'area, li fa fuori tutti, Tevez, si apre la porta, Tevez, gol, da dietro, Pirlo dentro, gol.
Game day, everybody. Sorry, apologies for being a little late, but we are here. We are live. We are ready to go. We're here for you. We're here for ourselves a little bit too. I got here to my left, your right. Berto, how you feeling this morning, buddy?
Been better. I've been better, but it's match day. I'll be good to go.
We'll take it. Hopefully, I'm sitting in the driver's seat today because Berto's a little bit under the weather. You know, when the captain's a little tired, he's got to sit on the bench like Quadrado. But we're not going to do that to him today. We are going to start him. We'll see how long he lasts. Maybe 60th minute, 55th. Also here we got what is that name? Omer.
You haven't
welcome, my friend.
Have you? Donut come on.
The fresh shave though.
And if no one has, if people haven't noticed, Omer's got the mustache. He's joining us in the Movember campaign. So if you haven't donated, Al, I believe, is that Movember campaign in the comment section, the link?
I'm going to throw the link up after the recording's ended, and then we're going to post on Twitter again. So everybody that's following us on Twitter, that's where you'll hit the link. So yeah. And I will start getting it in the descriptions. I've been, falling a little off track, but the World Cup draws today happening live on this show. So that kind of took a lot of priority over here.
This whole World Cup draw, if people don't, a little bit of a peek behind the curtains. This World Cup draw, I have no idea how this is going to go. Berto and I have had a lot of conversations about it. This could be an absolute disaster. It could go very smoothly. I don't know. Berto, what do you think?
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I want it to be a little more cutthroat. And Anthony was telling me I think we should try to even things out. So we're going to go in a friendly draw manner. It is still completely random, though. Anthony has the official bowl with the team member names on ping pong balls, okay? So we're very official here. Nothing's rigged. Nothing's fixed. There's no UEFA funny business, okay? And we're going to go through the teams at the end and then just pull the team member's name.
But before we get into all that, the Verona game we're going to talk about a little bit today. We're going to go through the news first. There's a lot in the news, so I think we're going to tackle that first. Let's start off with Pogba back on the pitch in 2023. Very divisive sort of figure, a guy who's saying, especially for Lucci. Lucci's been on this guy for months. I have my opinions. I'm sure you guys have your opinions. Let's start this one off with Omer. Omer, maybe tell us your thoughts when Pogba was coming in quickly, like what you thought about it. Now this whole situation now looks like he's not back till 2023. What do you got, buddy?
I think it was projected, like initially when he decided to have the surgery, then the projected date was only in January 2023. So it was no surprise there. They got us a little bit hopped up that he's coming back earlier and we get to see him. But once again, if you aggravate the injury, then we might see him even later. So I'm fine with that. We haven't done quite well without him. But I was excited when he came in. I love Pogba. I still love him. I don't take Manchester United as a standard for anything these days, for if a player is good or bad.
Hard to argue with that.
And at the end of the day, when you love football, there are certain guys you love and guys you don't. And I love Pogba. I have nothing against him. So I'm still thrilled. I'm still waiting to see him play and what he can do in this Juventus team.
Berto?
I'm still excited for when he does make it into the lineup and gets his minutes in, because for me, we talked about this with Marcella when she was on the last episode. She has this belief in Paredes and whatnot, but for me, I never really quite thought he would be the one that pushes that needle further for this team. Pogba will do that. I have no doubts he will help push that needle further in the right direction. So I'm excited for it. It sucks that it hasn't happened until now. And to be honest, Lucci needs to stop worrying about what these players do in their off time or whatnot with the little videos and stuff like that. He's got his family, his kids around there. Lucci, take care of yourself, man. Worry about the 7-year itch. Let's go.
But don't have any kids yet. Don't do that. But so I would say that I'm somewhere between Lucci and where Berto is. I'm somewhere in the middle, a little frustrated with the whole situation, wishing he could be back sooner. I get it. But then, me with my knees, I know how that situation goes with having the rehab and having to do it right. And just sort of look at Chiesa. There's some slight swelling. I don't think there was swelling. There's slight discomfort. So they're going to shut him down for the game today. So these things happen with these sorts of injuries. I think we just need to be a little bit more patient. I think Lucci needs to be a little bit more patient. I think a lot of people need to be a little bit more patient. Because he signed a 4-year contract. Yeah. So he's going to be around a while.
And the mercenary thing came up last episode too in regards to Paredes, and then Pogba's name gets thrown in there too. However, we all agreed and we're on the same page, and it's been clearly evident Juve's had to maneuver through a financial deficit of 250 million euros. So if that played a bigger part in Pogba coming, that's fine. But I think a big part of it, Pogba wants to actually be a Juve. Like, I truly, truly do believe in that. And when you hear the words of the people around him, and I think not a lot of people pay as much attention to the words of the actual players enough. And I think that plays part in Bonucci, because while Bonucci gets a lot of hate, I always say, what do guys like Chiellini, what do guys like Buffon say about Bonucci? And when you hear those types of things and they say, yeah, he's an actual leader. Cristiano Ronaldo came into Juventus and called Bonucci a leader and says, yeah, he's a leader. He's for sure a leader. You have to listen to the players. And Pogba's had nothing but great reviews about his energy and his attitude. And that's while not even being able to participate. When he does get into the lineup, it's something that I think is going to lift the entire team, to be honest. So
before we move on to the leaders, because we're going to touch on that a little bit later on with Danilo, but that's sort of, I understand the injury situation. I know Tony G just put on here about, there could be a potential for other muscular injuries, and there is. But I think it would be a different situation if Pogba, to your point, was causing an issue in the change room. If he was, if there was some sort of, discontent, things like that, I think I'd have a bigger issue with it. But I think a lot of people are putting a lot of smoke where there isn't any fire. But sort of moving on to another injury, we got Vlahovic with I believe it's pronounced the pubalgia, which is, the stomach, groin area. Oh, terrible injuries. Those are the ones that you can't even roll out of bed when you get them son bitches. But he felt a little pain when he was on the field earlier. It looks like he's going to be shut down for Verona, possibly Inter as well. I don't know if he's been officially been shut down for
Lazio.
Lazio. Oh, sorry, Lazio. But it looks like his World Cup is not in doubt. So would we even bother risking him on the weekend with Lazio? My answer is no.
Yeah, if it's come to this point, I mean, I don't know. The risk of it developing into a hernia, if it hasn't already, is probably something that needs to be avoided at all costs, because that could get into a situation where surgery is required, right? So they're going to have to be very, very careful with
push it back in.
Yeah, and I can get it. Like, it's a World Cup. It's the biggest event in football and in sports all over the world, and you only get a chance that if you have a great career for 15 years, you get a chance to like 3 of those. Like the best of the best had like 3 or 4 maybe if you start to really engage. So yeah, I get why he doesn't want to risk it. It's still representing its country. So not 2 big games to lose, actually. If he gets back against Lazio, that's great. But I'm not angry if he's just, playing it safe so we won't lose the World Cup. That's understandable.
And Serbia has a good team now, right? They have very
great
good
attackers.
Team, right? And they may not have this same sort of team 4 years from now. So it's 4 years is a long time for someone to wait for another World Cup. So I wouldn't blame him if he told Allegri, shut me down, and then because I want to play in the World Cup. I really, really wouldn't blame him for that. So it looks like, again, we just touched on Chiesa a little bit earlier, moving to Chiesa. God bless him. I think he's going to be the big game changer for us coming in. Looks like he's going to be shut down for the Verona match. There was some slight discomfort in the knee, which is normal. Everybody, it's normal. All right. I think how many minutes has he played so far since he's back? 40.
40
40,
something, yeah.
like that.
somewhere around there. So I have no issues with this. With what they said, some pain and tiredness, which is normal after long periods of inactivity. Omer, for you, Chiesa, for me, this is really a non-story. I'm glad that they're going to be shutting him down. What do you think on the whole Chiesa situation so far? How they've handled it?
No, it seems like a non-story. He actually got more minutes than I thought he would get. I thought he'd get like at first 5, maybe 10, but throwing him in the 70th minute, that's more than I expected. And the guy, come on, he hasn't played for almost a year. That's a lot for a professional
January.
footballer. Yes, so gotta be careful. Don't want to aggravate the injury. Just coming back, and has experienced it. I have my brother-in-law experienced it, and it takes a long time to get back, especially to professional sports with professional athletes. So take your time. We're in no hurry. You have the World Cup. Italy is not there. You have a lot of time to rest. If you don't need him, rest him.
Berto?
Yeah, it's I would rather the club err on the side of caution with all these guys, to be honest, rather than take our chances. Where we've put ourselves is very, very interesting. I mean, hey, we said we have to get 6 points out of these 9 available in November. If we come out and get 9, which is a possibility now in the shape we're in, yeah, you get these guys back in the new year after the World Cup break, and then you get serious about the run. I mean, it's crazy to think amongst all the turmoil, everything we've already gone through in a short period of time in this season, we can be in 4th, maybe 3rd if Lazio has a slip up against Monza. That's actually crazy to think about. So, yeah.
We can actually be 2nd. If Milan slip up again and we beat Lazio, we can be 2nd.
That's on Sunday. Yeah, but as of today, with the victory today, if Lazio slips up against Monza, we can actually be in 3rd place by the end of today, which is actually wild to think about. But yeah, of course, on Sunday, yeah, the potential to be 2nd by the time the World Cup break hits is actually probably something nobody would have thought possible.
And when we get into the match, the pre-match information, we have some more stats on that and how Juve's been doing. But you know me, I like to shout out fellow AJC members when they do something wrong, but I also like to shout them out when they say something that I don't agree with. And I remember Lex saying on a pod last week saying Juve has a 50-50 chance of finishing in the top 4.
Yeah,
we may be in 2nd before Christmas. So Lex, that was pretty much a bad prediction on your part. Now, I don't make bad predictions. I just have things go against me in my predictions.
That was a very, very low percentage. We were all kind of taken back by that. I want to put Elias the mask here. Pogba will never play 5 consecutive games for Juve. I want to put a little wager on that, Elias, because I believe he will. And I tell you what,
13 minutes.
I'll get you if he doesn't. And you got to think, he's got a long term with Juve. But if he doesn't, we'll get you a prize pack put together from Striped Hearts Apparel and a kit of your choice, because he will play 5 consecutive for Juve.
So let's just get this straight here. The bet is 5. He has to appear in 5 consecutive matches,
5 consecutive games for Juventus
this season.
No, not this season. He's just saying Pogba will never play 5 consecutive games for Juve.
Elias, this
season is a tough one, but never means he's got a 4-year term. So
that's why you got to hit him with the fine print.
Elias, fine print. And wording is everything. Very but Elias Mask, I'll take that one on. Don't forget, everybody, we've got an ongoing bet between Jeremiah and Lou on Rabiot's goal tally, and he's at 6 in all competitions. He needs 4 more by the end of the season, and Lou has to get Jeremiah that Rabiot kit. So we got some good little side bets here going on in the season.
Our second top scorer. Did anyone predict that? Rabiot would be our second
top scorer. There you go. Nobody did predict that.
I actually agree with Elias. I don't think Pogba will play 5 consecutive games, but not due to injury, because Max rotates every game and there's tons of games coming in. He won't, except for Szczesny, who played 5 games straight Danilo, maybe.
Elias is saying ever in his contract. We'll see. 5 is a tough string, though, but Max also sticks with the guys when they're going well. So we'll see what happens. See what happens.
Hey, if he's playing well, you never know. Now we got to get into a little bit more of a serious topic, a topic that Al and I normally, I don't think we butt heads on it, but we sometimes disagree. Sandro. So now it's come out recently that Sandro, he's done. This will be the final year of his contract. For me, this is a no-brainer for me. But so far, and we all see this coming. Like he's at the end of his career with Juventus, and I wish him well. We've had some good seasons with him. We've had some bad seasons with Sandro. Let's face it, I'm not going to be naive to that fact. But Berto, I'd like to start off with you. Sandro, this season, what have you seen or what haven't you seen at a Sandro this season?
Again, we're talking about
knowing it's his last year.
Not last year. We won't talk about last year.
Knowing this is his last year.
Knowing this is last year,
yeah.
It doesn't really change anything for me. He's been serviceable as that third center back, and I think Kostic has a lot to do with that too. Kostic, his work rate, while we may have had some frustrations in how frequent his crosses don't make it through or whatnot, and that he looks a little one-dimensional based on what the player we thought we were getting is. But, his numbers are still strong. He's got, 6 or 7 assists. He's turned it up against Inter. I think that's a big part of why we're able to have Sandro as that third center back is really Kostic and his work rate and effort. Does it change anything moving forward for me? Absolutely not. I think it's time to say goodbye, even if we're going to go in a 3 center back system. One of the things I truly believe Juve has fallen behind in is contingency planning. And to say just because of this season, it's right to keep Sandro beyond, I think is just preventing us from moving forward. So regardless of him being not an issue this season and serviceable as that third center back, I would still rather us see us move forward and bringing in another center back. I think we need another strong center back and potentially a younger center back. I would say Sandro and Rugani, it's time for Juventus to move on, to be honest. So nothing changes for me as far as Sandro goes.
Omer?
Yeah, I've said that before. When we first saw him, I think maybe it was last season when he played the third part of three-man defense. I said he's serviceable there. Like if there's one thing you can say to the credit of Sandro is that defensively he's pretty solid and he's good in the air. He's a good tackler. He's slow. He doesn't cross a lot. He doesn't help the attack. And besides Kostic, I will add that Rabiot is on that flank too, which probably helps him a lot because these guys, they have some terrific work rate. If he can provide that till the end of the season, that's great. I have no problem since we don't have any left-footed center back. But as far as renewing, no, that ship has sailed long ago. No need. He won't get any better. If anything, he will get worse. So thank you for your service. It's been a pleasure. See ya.
Now, Dells says if we don't sign another center back, we should renew him on a lower salary as a center back. And Omer?
No.
Let's go to Omer on this one. I think Omer's just a straight no.
No, that's straight no. We've been linked with some young CBs. We have some in our ranks in the Primavera squad, the next gen team and stuff. So no, it's time to make room. That's what Juventus have failed to do and recognize when it's time to let go of somebody before it's too late. So maybe it's time to redeem themselves a bit here and not renew him again because the ship has sailed. Come on. You don't expect him to be any better.
I get where Dells
is that, and I want to bring in this comment from Miran because he says, well, then you said MDS is serviceable and let's extend him. Where's he now? But the thing is, we're talking about a rotational piece that's like costs us next to nothing. So Deschilio, he's hurt. But yeah, if he wasn't hurt, he would just be a rotational piece that wouldn't actually be probably causing any problems, not based on performance or whatnot. So Sandro at 6.5 million as a starter that isn't capable of being the starter was a problem. Sandro as a center back option at a very low cost as a rotational salary piece might not be an issue. But for me, I still say no, I would move forward and go in a different direction.
I see where Dells is coming from. So I'll sort of agree and disagree with Omer. I don't think a next gen player is where I would go for our center back next year. I'd rather purchase outside the club a more established player and then integrate our next gen players in lower level sort of matches throughout the year. I wouldn't rely on that being a main piece to fill in a center back position or a Rabiot's position. I'd rather us go out and purchase somebody.
Yeah.
Sandro is having an okay year, but to both your points, I think that's because of the help that he's finally getting around him that he hasn't had in the past couple of years with Kostic and Rabiot having a good year.
The kicker in this too is Bonucci's automatic renewal for the year. So for me,
but that's still to be decided. Like there are other factors. No, not about Bonucci, about Sandro in that CB role and purchasing someone, because we do have players who want to purchase.
Yeah,
and depends on how we do in the Europa League, where we finish in the league, how much money we have.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, the kicker in all this is Bonucci's automatic renewal. For me personally, one guy that's experienced that's closer to the way out is enough. You don't need multiple guys on that because that's how you get yourself into problems. And we've seen it already. That's how you get yourself into problems in going beyond. And it hurts your contingency planning if you have multiple guys that are close to their way out and you're keeping them around. It's extra roster spots. So that's kind of a kicker that kind of plays into this whole thing too for me, why I'd say move Sandro out. Get another guy that you can move forward with in the years to come.
And we've already go ahead, Omer.
I will add that we have 3 left backs on loan at the moment: Pellegrini, Cambiasso, and Frabotta, which we still have to solve. But my final decision on that will be based on how the season progresses. Because if we do progress with a 3-5-2, then you have to purchase another center back. If when everyone is healthy, we move to a 4-3-3, then you need a left back and an attacking left back, say Grimaldo. I'm in for Grimaldo. If not, if we stick into the 3-man defense, I would go with Ndika from Frankfurt. But depends on the rest of the season.
We've also been linked to Odriozola from, he's currently with Real Madrid. So I think we've had a lot of pieces sort of moved into position. Omer, you brought up some good points here about the left backs are on loan. I see Alex P brought up those points. We also have Rugani and Gatti there for as center backs. So, I think we are situated okay. I don't think we don't not have to go purchase somebody. I think we still have to go out on the market, find someone to purchase, and then Coney DeVinter, Leo, thank you for that comment. We have DeVinter, sitting there. I think he just took an injury over there at Empoli, which is unfortunate. That's going to affect his development a little bit. But season, there's still a lot left to the season. And before we have some other comments. Here on this show, we like to hit the hard topics, right? We're all Juve fans here. We all love the club. I'd like to think, but sometimes I know there's a lot of people in the comments here, and I'd like to get your feedback on this. We try and bring out our passion for the club and how we interact with you here, how we interact with each other. Listen, we're not going to agree all the time. My takes are always right, and I understand that, and it can be frustrating to people, right, Berto? But
yeah,
I think what's a little bit different about our show is that we're just like you. We're just like everybody here in the comments. I used to be one of the people here in the comments, and for some reason, you guys let me on the show, and I still appreciate that. But if we ever stop doing that, if we ever stop taking the real course and asking the hard questions, I don't think this show is going to work.
Yeah.
Right, Berto?
So I guess we just address this comment that kind of started this whole thing and this feeling, this discussion we had, like real briefly, because it was brief, because we're all on the same page as a team. Okay. So the comment was essentially that the podcast is appreciated, but somebody felt that it's too biased towards players and disagreed with one of the discussions, but it wasn't necessarily fair in the critique because it completely ignored the entire discussion points about how everybody felt with Max. And if we're going to talk about it, and I said you should at least, do so in a fair manner, because there was an entire discussion about Max, which said if he was going to, turn things around, we all said we had our doubts, but how many times on this show, after we say something or after we have said something, have the words, "We hope he proves us wrong," been said?
I say it every show.
Because we are diehard Juventini. That's what we are. We're passionate, and we may have players that we just don't have faith in, and some people do, and then they don't like it when that take comes in. Here's the thing. I don't see bias. I see opinions. And I see that the same with everybody in the live and everything like that. And I can think of right now, Bikram G, Alex P, who have stuck in there with Max through all that whatnot. And it might be tough to listen to sometimes when maybe you feel we're a little bit tough on Max, but that's how we genuinely feel. However, we also on this show have always allowed opportunities for all of you to get involved. I have the call-ins at halftimes. We're going to start doing call-in shows. So I say, hey, if you have an issue with one of the topics or you think we're being biased, come out and let's hash it out. That's what this channel's been based off since the get-go.
We'll kick Lucci out. You can take his spot.
I have been on the official Juventus channel. While it was a privilege, okay, and an honor to do so, it was not authentic. And I will never sacrifice authenticity on this channel, period. Okay? When you go on to a show and they say, you can't say anything that isn't positive. Well, don't ask me about this, and this. I laid it out. I was very clear. Do not ask me about set players because I will not have something positive to say. And if they did, it would have been completely unauthentic. So we run our channel this way. For all of you that enjoy, that's great. And for all of you that may have issues with it, hey, come out here and hash it out. That's what the channel's for. It's for all of us. So
yeah,
we've always to make that clear, especially before we get into these next little topics, right?
We've always had an open seat concept. Like we've invited everybody on the show. You know, all you need, Al, what do you say? You need a quiet room and a good microphone.
Yep.
You know, if you come out here, I'd be more than welcome. Happy to give up my seat. Lucci jumped on here. Welcome, my friend.
Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, I guess, for Omer. I only got about 10 minutes here, but I heard a lot of chirping about Lucci and Pogba, and I heard that. I caught that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, sure. Let's go backwards. That's fine.
You know what? I just want to say you're right. I'll give you credit. You're right. He does have a life, so kudos. But he also where is he? Where has he been?
What do you care?
What do you mean? What do I care? I want him on the pitch. That's what I care.
But he's injured.
It's
what do you
as
want him
simple
to
as
do?
that, man.
But he's injured.
Exactly. So, he keeps his injury is dragging on, and I understand knees take time for sure. And now he's going to miss the World Cup. But if he did the surgery like he originally suggested, he could have already been back and played in the World Cup. So that's just my thought.
Lucci, you're going to give shit to a player trying to get into a World Cup when he's at an age where that's probably his last opportunity.
That's exactly it, though, Al. If he had his surgery when he originally got hurt, he would have been back already.
You don't know that, though.
For sure he would have. He waited 2 months. That's 2 extra months of recovery.
Yeah, because having a surgery might not be
reversible. A bunch of games by now, and he hasn't.
We knew Chiesa was not going to come back anytime soon.
Nothing is a certain. He got multiple opinions. He took what he thought was the best route. Nobody
against
can
the doctors,
say that.
though.
Nobody
against
can
the doctors.
Say that. Hindsight is 20/20. You can't absolutely not say whatever. You think Pogba's going to take a route knowing that it's not going to guarantee him a spot in the World Cup? Why would he do that?
Well, Ant's the expert, so he knows. Ant, how easy is it to repair a knee without having surgery?
It's okay. It depends on the injury, of course. And
Of
I think
course.
he was, but you're the one thing you're missing here, and God love you for being young and naive, is not everybody wants surgery. Surgery is a big deal.
Of course it is.
It's such commonplace now to say, "Oh, just get surgery and fix it." Surgery is not for everybody. It's look, it can be a little scary, right? Like going through that. So he opted for a path to not do it. It turned out to be the wrong path, to your point. But
I'm just saying it's tough to go against what doctors say. That's all I'm saying.
But,
So
but
I'm
if
not-
you
I'm still
go
not sure
the sore throat to 3 different doctors, they might give you 3 different opinions. Like doctors recommend stuff, but every
do not
person's
answer what the
physique is
solution
different.
is in the comments to a sore throat, please. Do
Now,
not put that in
Oh
there.
no.
now, anyways, we were done with the Pogba thing. So
Anyway,
Yeah.
I
gotta
gotta
move
hop
forward.
off. But vote Team Lucci. Give me some. Al, don't screw me, please. All right.
It's
the
gonna
vote's
happen.
over. And you know what? You did yourself no
Don't
services
screw
with
me.
this
Just
whole cameo.
all
Let me
my
tell you that.
fans are gonna be upset.
I would just like I would like everybody to know that the method that Al came up with, there was a potential for Lucci to have the worst team possible, or anybody to have the worst team possible. I had to modify it a little bit. The way we picked the teams, there was a chance, not you specifically, but there was a chance that somebody could have had the 4 worst countries in the World Cup. And I was like, we can't do that. Because if that happens, if it's Lucci that gets that, World War III. World War III.
From my fans, not from me. I wouldn't care. I'm not
debatable.
getting the free,
Lucci's
I'm not
gonna
getting
go
a free
play Call
jersey
of Duty
anyway.
now and use Pogba. I heard he's a character in
Well,
that game now. So
you know what? You
there we
should
go.
also kick Alex
Hey,
B out of these
we
comments.
got some great comments, everybody. As I was telling our story later, Lucci, about just
Completely
that comment
ruined the
coming
show.
in, and Anthony saying sticking to the man. Jeremiah saying this is the best Juve platform, hands down. AJC rocks. Thank you very much. And Dell's coming in being straight up. I welcome the differences opinion, as do we. How boring would it be if we all thought the same and just went across the same line? Not only that, I will say this. As I was talking about the other show, the official channel, whatnot, when you get off air and you're in the green room, the opinions that are voiced there were not the same as what was on the air. And for me, that just doesn't work. So what you see here is what you get. So again, thank you everybody for your continued support. And hey, if you want to come hash it out, you are more than welcome. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're right there at 3K, everybody. And then we're going to
I think
hit
we
4.
have 2 more.
Going for 4. I think we're a couple subs away. Yeah. So big stuff.
So
And
I
I'm
had
gonna
an
let you
ambitious
keep doing your
target.
thing.
Yeah, I had an ambitious target. I said before the season, we should target 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Everyone looked at me like I was crazy, but hey, 3,000 by Christmas. We are only 2 away. I think we were 2,998 as of this morning. So be a friend, tell them to subscribe to the channel. Listen, it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice. All right.
Let's do it.
That's free. So moving on. Let's keep moving through the news here. So Danilo made vice captain after Bonucci. Man, I'll start with this one.
Finally.
Well, we know what Omer's position is. The comments that I see about Danilo out there always leave me scratching my head. I put this in the group chat the other day. A lot of people have been asking they want Juventus players with grinta and players that love the shirt. Well, that's Danilo. This is a guy who comes in, day out, game in, game out, loves the club. I think there was somebody who was interviewed. I think it was someone help me out who was talking about Danilo. Oh, it's
Adriano Del Monte.
There you go. So I'll let Omer talk more about that. This guy loves the club. So making him a vice captain, I wouldn't even be offended if they made him the captain over Bonucci, to be honest, even though I love Bonucci as well. But Omer, we'll kick off with you on this one. Everything you're seeing about Danilo, vice captain, your thoughts and opinions on this whole situation as it turned, and basically usurping Cuadrado out of that position.
First of all, it was reported that Cuadrado was fine with it. They talked to him. He got nervous when he had the captain's armband, and he has no problem with Danilo being the guy. And finally, a calculated decision by talking to the players and not going by some standard. Yeah, you played the most, so you get to be the captain. Captain is about character and leadership, and not everyone has it. I also think Dybala wasn't a good captain material, and some guys are, some guys aren't. Now, Adriano Del Monte had an exclusive interview with Danilo prior to the World Cup, and he did talk with Danilo about Juve, and he had some very interesting points. But what Adriano took from that is that he definitely loves the club. He loves being here. He loves the vibe. It just suits to his type of personality. He talked a lot about the young guys and how much wind they put in the team sails, and helping the team grow. It gets the older guys excited. Apparently, I didn't know that older guys like seeing those young talents come in with their spirit and their way of playing. And that's about it. It's a long interview, mostly about the World Cup, but if you want to read it, it's been fantastic. So grazie, Adriano Del Monte. And Danilo is my guy. I like those type of players. I like those do or die guys. I'm not a big fan of all the Neymar type players who will play wherever they pay them the most, and would much rather have a good clip of them going past someone than actually scoring a goal for their team. I'm not that type of fan. Maybe I'm an old-fashioned, but Danilo is right up my alley, man. I like the guy, and he deserved the captain's armband. He's been there through thick and thin with the team. Hasn't put himself above anyone else. Always the team comes first. That's a good guy, and I don't know. He's talking about finishing his European career with Juve. Let's see how it goes. I think it's fine. I have no problem with it.
Berto, I kind of want to switch gears with you on this one. Your thoughts quickly on it, but also this point right here. Faraz my issue is with Danilo that he's not just not technically good enough to play as a fullback in 2022. For me, I strongly disagree with this comment. I'd like to get your opinions on Danilo armband and his technical ability right now with Juventus.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we ask for this out of all of our players. We ask for a guy that gives 150% every time he's out there. We ask for a guy with grinta. We ask for a guy that says the right words accordingly to the situations and isn't tone deaf. He does all of these, and then we shit on him. So I can't really make sense of it. It's like he gives us everything we ask for as fans, but the fans still don't like this guy. Technically not good enough to play fullback. Well, he's been playing as a third center back for pretty much all this season. As a fullback, I still think he has something to offer. And you have to think, out of those fullbacks that are attack minded, usually their counterpart on the other side is a little more balanced and rounded. You're not going to have two, Theo Hernandez's on both sides. Like, that's not going to happen. While Hernandez has been better defensively than he's known, still, there's a sacrifice there. João Cancelo, you're not going to get two Cancelos on both sides. So Danilo still has his place. But for me, right now, as a third center back, he's a lock in our lineup for me. And it goes left side, right side. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't see any issues. For me, you have to really prioritize issues amongst a team and a club, especially one that's going through a transitional period. For me, there are much, much bigger fish to fry for Juventus than Danilo. And naturally, as players get older, the natural transition is from a fullback to a center back. And we might be seeing that with Danilo. And he's been one of our most consistent players this season, hands down, probably next to Rabiot. And it's two of the guys that take the most shit.
So switching gears, speaking of Rabiot, so there's, again, in the news, there's renewal of the talks after the World Cup break. I think that's going to happen. There's a lot of recency bias with that. I know Lou's probably listening here, is flipping his chair, but I'm sorry, Lou, we have to talk about Rabiot. For me, he's been our most consistent player this season. Hasn't been a showstopper, hasn't been bottom of the barrel. So he's been that guy who's been there, been healthy, been consistent. which I think gets overlooked. So, Bert, I'll start with you on this one. Do you agree with the club going after renewal in January, or is this something that we should just kind of play out for the rest of the year and then maybe try and get something at the end of the year, knowing that he most likely won't take less money based on his season?
I think that's the only way is less money. And honestly, if he can keep it going beyond the World Cup, like it can't just stop now. It can't just end now. And I don't think they should ever be. I think they should be looking at renewal opportunities, but never actually fully deciding until season's end. So I have no problem with them, looking at that. This whole recency bias. So Lex had a comment about recency bias. I don't even like this whole recency bias talk, to be honest, when it's in terms of looking at past seasons and looking at current seasons. You shouldn't judge anything on previous seasons and then going into the current season. That's like we fell into that trap with Bernardeschi when he actually put in a decent run of performances for us. Mm-hmm. Nobody could get over the fact 2 years he was dog shit or whatever. Look, you can only look at what's going on now. The faces of teams, the makeup changes year in, year out. With Adrian Rabiot, you know what? And to be honest, for the first couple seasons, slow going from the start and then finish strongly. Last season was just a bad one. But for recency bias, I only think that holds true when we hype guys up after 1 or 2 games. If he can put a season together that is solid and his statistics have gone higher than what they've been before, it's not recency bias. It's looking at where you are currently. Recency bias for me is Moretti scores a goal in 1 game. Okay, that's it. We have to build around this guy. Like, that's it. It's all said and done. No, pump the brakes. A whole season. It's like Real Madrid and Vinicius Jr. Recency bias if they want to extend after what's going on now, or is it because based on his first couple seasons, it was a slow go. Everybody had major doubts as Real Madrid fans. So I don't buy into this recency bias unless it's hyping up on a couple games. Look at the season as a whole. Right now, as it stands, he, along with Danilo, are our most consistent performers on this team right now. So Omer, it's not a recency bias thing. At a lower salary, that makes sense because right now that's been the biggest knock for him, in my opinion. His salary does not reflect what he's been given. However, his numbers, if they continue on that track, he'd actually be giving you probably more than guys at that pay wage in years previously. So you got to wait till the season's end. You got to see the season through.
He's going to be making Lou give a jersey to, is it Jeremiah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If he gets 10 in all comps, he only needs 4 more goals.
4 more goals.
Imagine Lou having to press order on that kit when that goes through.
Put the name on, the number. Yeah.
But yeah, that's just me quickly on that. I know we got a lot to get into still with the game today. And then, of course, the World Cup draw.
Oh, so Omer, your thoughts, Rabiot, quick, so we can.
Yeah, I won't echo what Al said because I agree with it. If you can put up an Imesh comment here, because that's what I thought, and then he posted it. Just a few comments up.
This one?
Rabiot had 3 different managers. Yeah, then sometimes a manager needs to know how to utilize his players. Maybe Sarri didn't. Maybe Pirlo didn't. Maybe it's his partners in midfield who changed throughout this time. He started with Pjanic and Matuidi. So I don't know. Maybe Max found a way to use him. And I've said before, if it's okay, he had a couple of good games, keep it going. I want to see it. I want to look at the end of the season and say he had 30 good games. Not 10, not 5 like he had in previous years. I want to see 30 good performances. And when it matters, like against Inter, and then we can talk about extension. The flip side is that he can sign a contract with anyone when January comes along. So we might lose him. To be fair, I wouldn't be too bummed out about it. There's still a lot of fish in the ocean, and I don't know. It's been nice. It's been bad. Whatever. Let's
Again,
wait and see.
for some reason, Lou has this ability to influence people on the AJC team, putting it in their videos for the World Cup draws, saluting Lou. Like, what was that nonsense? Anyways, we have no time for that. We have no time for that rant. So right now we're going to get into the Verona game. I know there's some questions about the World Cup draw. We're going to get to it. Look, we got the bowls with the names in it. Everyone just be patient. So we're going to go through this game today. Listen, this game today, we should kick the dog snot out of this team, all right? We should. So going through the numbers here, Verona's at the bottom of the table. This team shouldn't even be on the same park. They have 1 win, 2 draws, 10 defeats so far. They've lost 8 in a row. 8 in a row. Juventus is coming into this game with 4 wins, 4 clean sheets. You know, again, everyone remembers we have that recent win against Inter, big game. Some people, I guess that wasn't a big game but for me, Max has to smile a little bit. I digress. But this Verona also one of the lowest scoring teams in the league. They've only found the goal 11 times in 13 matches. Their plus minus differential is minus 15. They stink. If there is a team that can kind of summarize what it means to stink, it's this team right here. Now, our track record this year against teams that stink isn't very good. I understand that, but the form that we have right now, before we get into a little bit more details, quick thoughts, guys. This shouldn't even be close today with whatever lineup.
Yeah, and they do have the worst defense in the league also. But we could have said the exact same stuff before Monza. Okay, and these are the type of games that you can drop points because you're a bit smug and they're the worst team and we're on a good run. And you use most of your subs, and that's when it's an away game. Verona isn't a nice place to play in. They have very hostile stadiums. So I don't know. We should keep our foot on the gas, kill it early, and then we can rest assured. But those are the types of games you usually drop points.
I haven't gotten the smug feeling from our team in a while. I think this team, since that retreat, has been more united and more let's put our noses down and let's pull up our socks. You know, that's a stupid cliche, but just they're going to work. They're getting their lunch pails, they're going to work. I don't get that same feeling as the team that was going into Monza. I think this is a much different team. The attitude is much different. Another stat here, and thanks to our stats team before the match here, getting us ready. If Juve wins another clean sheet, it'll be the 3rd straight on the road clean sheet, and the first time they've done that since 2018. So now we're starting to get records, positive records. We've given Max a little bit of grief about the negative records he's been breaking, but going into this match, Al, a lot of positive. For me, it's a different team that went into Monza, the game that played Salernitana. And we have a big match against Lazio. And for me, I don't think this team is looking past Verona. I think in the past we would have, but for me, I think we're going to be ready for both games. How do you look at today?
One game at a time. This team is taking it one game at a time. It's a completely different attitude and feeling you have. He's got the right mix right now. One thing that would maybe make me a little bit nervous in a match like this away from home is only the fact that you've gone with the same guys, especially across the middle, for several in a row now. Maybe if fatigue kicks in, the brain's not switched on properly, maybe some errors can occur. But let's not kid ourselves. I called a win immediately after post-match podcast. Everybody said I was jinxing the team. Look, it ain't me if we don't pull it together today, because this team is awful. Verona is awful. This has been a complete fall from grace over the team that we've seen over the past couple seasons. They've scored 11 goals out of 13 matches. They can't score.
It's not the same team.
It's not the same team. They are awful. They cannot score. They've conceded the most, 26 goals and a game in hand. Look, with Bremer in the lineup today as well, I don't see them scoring one on Juve. And Juve will have enough to find a goal or even a couple. And I think if again, just the mood, the feeling around this team's completely different than the one we saw struggle earlier. They've got a rhythm. They've got confidence. They're all getting stuck in. And Danilo, Bonucci, Bremer at the back, everything the same in the middle. I look for Locatelli and Fagioli to continue. Keane has been solid in his cameos and everything like that. Milik up top. Milik needs to get one, but his work rate still remains the same. He's actually been named as one of the catalysts next to Danilo as this different leaders that weren't expected to be leaders. Milik's name actually popped up there. Rabiot's became another leading by performance, and then Danilo was obviously the other. So I see us getting the job done, and honestly, there should be no excuses, and they should get the job done today against Verona.
Yeah. Yeah. We're looking at the starting lineup that was projected earlier today. I think this, and you sort of touched on it. So Padin's going to start in net, Bremer, Bonucci, Danilo at the back, Quadrado, Fagioli, Locatelli, Rabiot, Kostic along the middle, and then Milik and Keane up top. More than enough. Absolutely more than enough. Doesn't matter who's on the bench. I think that's more than enough to get the points today. Omer, did we get to you? I'm sorry, there's a lot going on this side of it. Did we get to you on the Verona match? What your thoughts are today, and this Juventus compared to the past Juventus going into these matches? Because we've done a lot of pre-games, different feel today.
No, I said my opinion basically. Someone here, the Desh Saleh said I look like Bonucci and Chiellini had a kid, so I'm honored. Thank you. Probably had it after winning the Euros, and that's about it. No, I have nothing to add. You covered all bases.
Yeah. Injury wise, both teams have injuries. No need to go into those. I think we are who we are, and again, we've done a lot of shows here, and we appreciate everybody who's been following us, week in, week out, during the week, on weekends. So while you're here, don't forget to support the sponsor, Striped Hearts Apparel. I think I got mine on today.
Oh yeah, nice.
Isn't this my lucky shirt? Now, the scary thing is that we also might think that the mustaches are lucky, which is a problem because I can't wait to cut this thing off.
I'll keep this bad boy going all year if I have to. If we keep on,
you are a saint if you do that because there is no chance I'm doing that. So moving into
because it up today, got to clean up the sides.
Yeah, you look like floppy. So I know everyone's really excited about this World Cup draw, but we can't do that until we get to predictions. All right. We got to get the predictions in. I have not made any. I do know that before this game, I'm not putting any Chicotti on this game because these are the ones where you parlay this one with Juventus and another, for sure win, and then somebody absolutely shits the bed. So no money for me on this game. So Verona is heavy underdogs at 5-1. A draw, at plus 370, and then Juve is basically even money. I would stay away from it. So while you guys think, you guys have your predictions ready? If not, I can just make some up as we go here.
No, I always make them up. So,
Omer, go ahead, buddy.
My prediction, I think it's going to be 2-0 Juve.
Mm-hmm.
Second prediction is our first goal will be in the first 10 minutes, and our second goal would be in the last 10 minutes. And another one, let's go corners. No,
okay.
Not corners. Not corners. Let's go shots on target. I'm calling 15 shots, 7 on target.
15-7. All right. Omer's always good for some oddball kind of predictions. Love it.
Yeah.
Berto, what do you got, bub?
He took my score line. I was going to go 2-0. I'll switch it up. I'll go 3-0. Okay, I'll go 3-0, even though I think it will be 2-0. I'll go 3. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say Milik gets a brace in this one. Okay. He's been off for a couple as far as service goes and getting goals, but I think he gets 2 today. And I'm gonna say Kostic finds one for the third. Shots, I don't know, offsides. I'm gonna go with the cards. I'm gonna say, or should I go possession split? I'm torn between those two, but I think I'll go with first card of the match will be Verona, and I'm going to put 35th minute on it.
Did anyone receive a red card against us this season?
Against us? No.
Not sure.
Not that I can remember. All right, so let's get to mine. I think this is going to be an absolute shellacking. So I'm going to go 4-0 Juve today.
Ooh.
I'm going to go an absolute barrage of shots. I'm going to go, there's going to be 19 shots with 10 on target.
Oh,
I think it's going to be an absolute shellacking. This team stinks, right? Like,
so Eli's coming in here with
trying
3-1.
I'm trying to project. There we go, Leo. I'm trying to project the positivity. I'm trying to manifest this win out of my words. So I'm going to go 4-0. Lots of shots on net. So 19-10. I think possession, I think we'll still stink there. I'll go 59-41 Juve on possession because we've never really been able to do that. Do I need another tiebreaker? Sure, why not? I'll go. So Keane's playing. I'm going to go 3 offsides. I'll go 3 offsides. But let's think this win into actual existence. All right, people, let's go. I saw somebody say 2-0 loss. Who's DDB? Who is this?
Well, no, he
we love you
corrected
all.
it. 0-2. He said sorry. 0-2. So that's for Juve.
Oh, that's for you. Okay. All right.
Stay away from my boy. DDB is my guy.
Okay.
3-0 from
Dulles
Louis.
with a 5-2. 3 Lou.
There we go. There we go. So the predictions are in. Anth going with an absolute shellacking. Omer 2-0. I believe it'll be 2-0, but I'll take the 3-0. Milik double. Lewis, get off of me, man. Get off of me. Just share my predictions. That's okay. Predictions are in. Everybody, no watch along today. Okay. I have work to attend. But
and the game's in like 2 hours.
Lazio, there will be a watch along for Lazio. So look forward to that one. World Cup draw.
It's big. We've been waiting for this for a while. So I think this is how we're going to do it. So everybody who's ready, I know Anish is ready. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go team by team. I'm going to draw out of the bowl. I have 8 fake golf balls. Fake golf balls. Each golf ball has an AJC team member name on it. So before we started today, we ranked every team in each group 1 to 4. Now, I didn't do it based on how they were ranked going into the draw of the World Cup, because then Qatar would have been the number 1 spot in that group, and that's just not going to happen, right? Qatar does not get. So I ranked them based on FIFA rankings at the time of the draw. So there's going to be some switch-arounds.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through the number 1 teams all the way through.
I will
or Al.
Call the teams. We're going to go 4-3-2-1. Once that team member is drawn in the round of the 4th ranked teams, then they just leave and we go down the list. So everyone's going to get a 4th ranked team. Everyone's going to get a 3rd ranked team, a 2nd ranked team, and a top ranked team. Okay. Just to make things fair. For everybody who hasn't taken part yet that is in the live chat that wants to, this is your quick last final call before we start drawing here to pick a team member. Okay. So your options are, of course, any one of us 3, Omer, Alberto, Anth, or you have Luca, Lucci, Joe, Lex, Lewis, and that's it. So get your votes in right now immediately on the live chat if you haven't already. Okay. Now,
and we're going to be adding some prizes for, along the way as we go until the World Cup starts. So stay tuned for that. But now we're going to pick the teams. I think it's some people are just going to go on based on the mustaches. So let's just we're going to start with.
So people getting their picks in there. Omar, we got a couple Omars. We've got Anthony going with his namesake. He has to. Jay's going for Team Joe. There you go. Get those picks in right now. Okay, this is last chance. Vito coming in with me, my man. Let's go. Let's do this now. Let's start doing this. Anthony has the bowl. He will pick the names. Swati coming in with Team Baritone. Let's go.
I have it to the side. I can't see it. You're
the
going to see my eyes.
First team being drawn.
Yes. Should be Qatar. Yeah. Ready? Here we go. We're gonna do this quick. Let's go.
Who's getting Qatar?
I am, for God's sake.
Oh.
I get the host. The hosts are always good for a point.
And now your ball stays to the side.
Out. It's out. Yep.
So and I hope the 2002 referee comes in.
The next team up is Iran.
Iran is Joe. Stinky Joe gets Iran. The next one is Saudi Arabia.
Hold on. Yep.
Lou gets the Saudis because Lou's an oil man.
Lou getting Saudi Arabia. Okay. And
now we're going down under, I believe. We're going to Australia.
We have Australia.
That goes to Luca with the bad mustache.
Luca's
Damn,
getting
what's left? What am I
Australia.
getting?
Okay, now
Instead of flipping the page, I can just read them out for you, Al. Just so you don't have to
Costa
flip the
Rica.
page. Costa Rica is going to Omer. Omer going to get
Yes.
some,
Omar.
going to
Let's
sip some margaritas on the beach.
Okay.
Canada, this is a big one. Canada's the next draw. This one's going to
Lucci.
Lex. There she goes. Good Canadian.
Lex
I think there's only
in
Canadians
Canada.
left in the bowl.
Better hope Abby Wambach plays.
They stink. They're not going to do much. Cameroon.
Oh yeah, right here.
Cameroon is going to Lucci.
Damn. I'll take
And
Cameroon.
then that leaves, there you go. That leaves Berto with Ghana.
Okay.
Back in the bowl. Here we go. Ready?
Everybody back in. Now we're going to the third ranked teams.
Third ranked team. So the first one here, Group A, is Ecuador. Ecuador is going to Joe Cappuccino.
Joe Cappuccino.
Oh.
Funny story about Ecuador. One day we were partying in this village, okay, snowboarding village, and I was leaving a staff function, and all of a sudden, my friend, I walked up to them, a group of people, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I want to introduce you to my friend." So he introduced me to everybody. I was dressed up because I was at a staff function. He says, "This is my buddy, the ambassador of Ecuador," and I said, "What?" And I had to play that role all night, and I did, and it was a good time. Now carry on.
That's better than being a prince from Nigeria, I guess. So, we're going with Wales. I think the Welsh are next.
Well,
Aaron
Yeah.
Ramsey.
This one, I'll take the Welsh.
Wales.
Of course, I get Ramsey. Next one is, I think this is a good one. Next one is Poland, because them and Mexico were sort of close in the group. So Poland here is going to Lucci. That's a good.
Lucci? Yeah, I don't want
yeah.
Poland.
I got a buddy who's Polish. He loves it. Huge fan. Tunisia next is Lex. All right.
Lex getting Tunisia.
They're not going to get any points. Japan. Funny story about Japan. I had a work trip to Japan once, and Japan's going to Omer, by the way.
To Omer.
Yeah, right there. So I had a work trip to
my
Japan,
Eastern
and
guys.
a couple days before I left, there was a typhoon coming in. I was going to Hiroshima. My hotel was like like a half mile from that.
And they want you to lift the bowl up after your story.
Yeah. So I had to cancel my trip to go to Japan because of typhoon. And my coworker over there was like, "Oh, we get these all the time. Don't worry." I was like, "No, I'm not coming over. It's a hurricane. It's a typhoon. I'm not going over there." But anyways, I had a chance to go to Japan. Didn't go. Still sort of kicked myself. So this one here, I believe, is Morocco. Morocco's going to Berto. There you go.
Oh, Ashraf Hakimi all the
So
way.
are you going to be cheering for Morocco against Canada? Is that what's going to happen?
Well, I want to win somebody a kit, so maybe.
Probably. Okay. So here we go. Serbia. Who's going to be cheering for Vlahovic? I have money on this team to make the quarterfinals.
I wanted Serbia, man. I wanted
Yeah,
Serbia.
Serbia
my
is
team.
going to Luca. Luca gets Serbia, which leaves last one in the bowl, Korea, going to Lou.
All right, now we get into the good stuff.
Now we're getting
Top 2 rated teams in the groups. Okay, let's get to the good stuff.
Okay.
Senegal. Sadio Mane.
Senegal.
Some tough news there.
Joe.
Joe getting Senegal.
Yeah. My arms are going to get sore after holding the bowl up this long, but what's this one? USA. Boom.
You?
God bless America.
I don't know about Team Anthony, man.
Land that I
Qatar, Wales, and USA.
love.
Oof.
From the mountains to who's this? Oh, Mexico. Mexico's always
Mexico.
good for some points here. Mexico's going to Lucci. Ay caramba. Denmark, God bless them. Good team. They still sort of stink.
Give me
Of course.
Denmark.
That's
Lou
Lou.
and Denmark.
God damn it.
That's Lou.
It's a good, decent
What do we
side.
got here? Oh, Germany. Okay, so one of the perennial favorites. Here we go. This is a big one here.
Give me the Germans.
Lex.
Who's left?
Yeah.
Am I getting
And
Portugal?
then now we have Croatia. I used to date a Croatian girl, a little crazy, but she's all right.
I don't want Croatia.
Luca gets
Okay.
Croatia. So there's 2 left in the bowl. So this one is Switzerland. They're not going to do much, but hey, why not? Switzerland goes to Berto,
Okay.
Okay, I'm left.
and that should leave. I think who's that? That's Omer
Uruguay.
with Uruguay.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I
right.
wanted Uruguay. Okay, this is it, everybody. The top teams. By the way, we have a switch. Alex P is switching to my team.
No.
No, can't do that.
No. That's not how
All
this
right,
works.
all right. So
All
we
right.
have the top sides, and the first one up is Holland. Who's gonna pull Holland?
And people can't say that this is rigged. I can't see who I'm pulling here. They're all the same size. I don't know what's going on. Netherlands is going to Lucci because he loves wooden shoes.
I've heard losers.
Who's this one? England.
Hold on. England. Yes.
Oh.
England is going to
Is it you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What a loser.
Enjoy Harry Maguire.
Okay, let's get to the good stuff. Argentina.
I'm still a little upset about that one.
Argentina
is
Yeah, let's roll.
Argentina were my pick.
That's my pick too.
now listen. Listen. There is no. Do you guys honestly think that I would rig it so I pull England out of here? Like you guys are nuts.
Okay, for those thinking it's rigged, Anthony's side is Qatar, Wales, USA, and England. I don't think it's rigged, everybody.
You see, I got luck on my side though. I got luck. Okay, so I already pulled the next one. I didn't look at it. Who's the next
Hey,
one?
we're at France now.
I already have it in my hand. I haven't looked at it yet.
Let's see.
France is. Oh, our dreams have come true.
Yes.
Lou, no way.
Yes.
That's
that was not
hilarious.
rigged. They're all the same size. Everyone saw it.
Rabiot is a match made in
That
heaven.
is hilarious.
Oh, this is work. This seems like something that FIFA would do. So the next one here,
This is Spain.
who have a really good chance at winning this son bitch. Spain is going to the man who has no idea what to put on pizza.
Joe.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah, we all heard you scream from here, Lou. We did.
We're at Belgium.
Okay, Belgium. So
I'm
there's
going to
three.
get Belgium.
Belgium is going to Lex.
Ooh.
So who's left? Do I have like Portugal and Brazil? That's my options?
Brazil and Portugal, and I believe it's Omer and Lucci left in the bowl.
Brazil and Portugal.
Give me Brazil.
Like, what is this? That's mean. That's terrible. All right. So Brazil is going to. Oh, not Lucci. Luca.
Luca.
Yeah.
Brazil.
Damn it. So I'm
Yeah,
left with
Lucci's
Portugal?
team's done, man. He got Holland.
Yeah. So that leaves one left in the bowl.
Omar
empty.
gets Portugal.
Omer gets
Okay,
Portugal.
okay.
So there you
that's
go.
Decent. I'm not done with Ronaldo yet.
Oh, there you go, everybody. We have the teams in.
Wow.
I will
It's a
review
little-
for you, and then we're going to post on the Twitter. I'll post the final graphic of the teams. Good luck to everybody. Luca's team. Australia, Serbia, Croatia, Brazil. That's pretty serious.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if only he would have played Billy Joel on the show like I asked him to, he would have had more fans and more votes. Lewis, Saudi Arabia, Korea, Denmark, and France. Omar, Costa Rica, Japan, Uruguay, and Portugal.
Yes.
Myself,
That's a good team.
Ghana, Morocco, Switzerland, Argentina. Decent spread. Okay. Lex is going to be pulling hard for Germany and Belgium because she's got Canada and Tunisia also. Joe, Iran, Ecuador, Senegal, Spain. Lucci, Cameroon, Poland, Mexico, Holland. And Anthony coming in strong as the anchor with Qatar, Wales, USA, and England. I can't believe you're going to be cheering on England.
Here's the issue with that one. much like how Lou got France, I was destined to get England. I understand that. The problem is that England and USA are in the same group. So we have some, we're thinking of some prizes of, teams, not only the winner, but, we're going to come up with some first, second, third prizes, teams like AJC members whose teams come up with the most points. Yeah. See, there we go. So I need both those countries to progress. It's going to be tough, but I'm still hoping for points. I just need points.
The funny thing was in, my World Cup bet and everything like that, I actually did go with Argentina winning it all. So I think they're going to do it. And I got Argentina, so I was going to ride with them. I'm going to ride with them.
Man, I have a great team. Portugal are a great team.
So much like Lou, I'm having a frustrating morning.
Sorry, man. You can't switch. You're with Anthony.
No, you can't switch teams. What are we doing?
We can't be switching.
You can't switch teams.
Let's go.
There are other prizes available. I knew this was going to happen.
We're going to do top goal scorer. So if the top goal scorer is from one of the teams, that particular team members, their members that voted for them will be entered in a draw to win a prize for top goal scorer as well. Most points, like group stages, whatever, and best goal differential, that'll come down to a prize as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun. People are asking, what are you doing in the World Cup? This little competition is just a fun little way to, get everybody involved and do something. And not only that, but, for some of us that support Italy, it gives us some way to have some type of interest in the tournament. And it gives us some opportunities to have some fun little shows during the World Cup break following our teams in this tournament. So I look forward to it. It's going to be good stuff.
Yeah, and we are going to be covering a bit, like maybe a weekly show covering Juve's player performances in the World Cup. We are going to have some content. We're not going on strike.
Absolutely. We're going to follow those Juve players that are in there, and Lewis can be our special France correspondent covering all of Rabiot's performances for the French national side. That couldn't have worked out any better.
We're going to get him a beret and a baguette.
Everybody, I know we have Storm the Barn questions in there, but the show's kind of like we had to get this draw in there, everything. I will just get to just a couple quick. Jeremiah's been putting this one in thoughts. The one player that made the significant impact to Juve is Fagioli. Since he's come on, we've been a more confident Juve with more balance in the midfield. He was the missing piece. I don't think it can be ignored that he's had an impact, but I think it comes more not just as him individually, but what it does for the team as far as a balance in that midfield. And we've just said that midfield of Locatelli, Rabiot, and Fagioli just makes sense. Do you guys have anything to add?
No, for me, quickly on Fagioli, I think he's been a good impact player considering the injuries that we've had, and he's fit right in. I have concerns on how he's going to fit into the lineup moving forward. Not to say that I don't think he deserves a spot, but with players coming back from injury, how does he fit in? That's a little bit more interesting to me. Great story. Hope he stays with Juve a long time. Let's not ruin the kid now.
Yeah. It's hard to disagree. Since he came on, we've been on a tear. We've looked good. Save yourself the trouble. Don't start comparing and saying he's the next Marquisio or blah, blah, blah. Every player is different. Let his career unfold. And he can be a great player for us. I like what I'm seeing from him, and he deserves the chance he gets. He waited long enough.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Oh, no. Lucas, we're not going to get to. We got lots of time for Lucas.
Yeah. Well, that's a great show today, guys. Yeah. Oh,
Animesh has an interesting one. Even if Napoli dropped 20 points from here, they would still get 90 at the end of the season. Do you think this Juve team can get 90-plus points and win the Scudetto?
Look,
I think there's two questions there.
A month ago, I didn't see us finishing the year at even fifth place.
You stink.
A lot can happen. Finishing the year, not the season, like before January. A lot can happen. It's very hard to project what's going to happen in the league. I'm not going to have a verdict right now. Let's see how it unfolds. The World Cup can have some major impact on teams. And let's wait and see. I have no judgment yet.
The World Cup can throw a big swing into things too. We have to look at players' health and everything coming back to. Like, there's a lot that can change, but I'm kind of with Omer. Who knows? All I've been saying is the same thing that I'm going to say to this. One game at a time. One game at a time. I didn't expect this turnaround at this point. If you would have told me after Monza, come World Cup break, Juve's got a shot at being second or close to, I would have laughed. I would have said probably to no chance because it looked like there was no chance we were going to do it. However, here we are. One game at a time, everybody. One game at a time. Anthony, your thing, wrap things up. Omer?
I want to throw one last topic, which we didn't discuss. All the Bremer integration and like, we do have the best defense in the league. How do you think, like, is it because we keep slandering the guys who play in defense? We talked about Danilo, we talked about Sandro, Bonucci has been, we've been talking about him all season long, but evidently we still have the best defense in the league. So what are your guys' thoughts? How has Bremer affected that?
I also want to say this. There's still 6 point swing that could take place if we beat Napoli both times, which would change things drastically. Okay. So 6 point swing could potentially change everything. Bremer's been absolutely massive. And the defense, I mean, we were all kind of looking at that and looking at it in Serie A and thinking it didn't feel that way for quite a while. However, there we are, and probably because of what was going on in Europe, but nonetheless, in Italy, the defense has been stout. And Bremer's come in, and he's been everything we've needed from him in terms from De Ligt. And honestly, that back three of Sandro, Bremer, and Danilo, it works. It really, really does. The three Brazilians at the back there, if ever you would have thought of three Brazilians at center back for Juventus, here it is, and it's working. They got great chemistry. The defense, it's going to come down to something when we play Napoli, because Napoli plays a certain style, and it'll see what gives. But defense is on our side, and that means a lot. That's what Max is striving for. So if we can get a little bit of more firepower, and I think that'll come with the guys that are healthy coming back, if we can integrate them properly, if we can maximize their output, hey, who knows what could happen? Who knows?
Yeah, I'd answer the Bremer and the Napoli thing at the same time. I have more confidence in Napoli dropping points than I do of Juventus winning the Scudetto. It's sort of like I don't see both happening, but I have more confidence in Napoli definitely dropping points. And that, I know Joe thinks that he says we highly doubt that we'll beat Napoli twice, but if Bremer comes back from the World Cup as a World Cup champion, his confidence, and Danilo's there as well. Is Sandro there? Are all three of them there
for the World Cup?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure all three.
You know what I'm saying? They come back as World Cup champions. Their confidence is going to be up. Now, we might not have them for the first game against Cremonese, but hey, anything can happen second half of the season. Let's just, one game, like you said, one game at a time. I have confidence in two things: Juventus ramping up even better in the second half of the season, and Napoli dropping points. So I have confidence in both.
I will just say about Bremer, he's done what you guys said quietly without any fuss. We gave De Ligt a long leash and made tons of excuses, and I love De Ligt. He's a fantastic player in my opinion, but it took a long time to adjust to the league. And you might say that Bremer was already in the league and knows it and knows the language and stuff, but that Korean defender from Napoli, Kim Jong-mae, came in, didn't even hear about it. Napoli became better, and he was replacing Koulibaly. That's major shoes to get in. So Bremer is doing his work quietly. It's not always the hyped up guys that are the ones who are going to be the best guys on the field, and Bremer has been that for us.
There you go.
I think that pretty much wraps it up.
That wraps it up, Jeremiah.
And I'm smoking a cigarette for anyone.
Let's get the top four today. Let's get it. Forza Juve. Everybody, you know where to be tomorrow for the post-match podcast. That's right here, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, we're going to reconvene and we're going to, talk a little more about this World Cup draw. Have a little fun with that. I will post the final graphic up on the Twitter channel. And then, we'll reconvene. Hopefully we have a victory to discuss tomorrow and we can go through it all and then get ready for the big weekend match against Lazio. All right. So, ciao tutti. Anthony, fantastic job as always.
Do what I can.
Omar, an absolute pleasure. Everybody, good luck with the team member that you chose for the World Cup draw, right? Juve, let's beat the piss out of Verona, okay? And meet tomorrow morning and be happy. Fino alla fine, forza Juve. Ciao tutti.